Welcome to my Solstice review, my summer solstice. This is the third solstice review that I have done. So it marks the, I guess, the first anniversary of sort of deciding to do the doing things. Sorry, I'm sat on something horrible. I just have to move it. Calm down, everyone. To make things a little bit easier, what I've done is I've decided to split everything into sections. I'm going to have to do this somewhere else, aren't I? It's just too noisy in here. And that's because it's sunny. We have three things to talk about in today's blog. The first is the most important, and that of course is that I have a 4-day working week this week, because next Saturday my sister gets married. So it's full steam ahead with everybody doing all the last minute but very, very important jobs to make sure they're at the right place at the right time on the day. It's looking quite good, although I have no idea what the weather's going to be like. But it looks like it's going to be a reasonably good day. I shall, of course, the night before, be dropping off my wedding attire around at my grand's. I shall then be going on to the church. She's getting married at Christ Church, and I'm going there. And we're having a rehearsal. I don't know how much my presence is required there, really, because my only official function actually in the wedding itself is to do a reading, and it's a pretty standard reading, which in fact I've done many times before, even at weddings before, and that's of course the passage on the nature of love, which is in Corinthians 13. I have got now the version that she wants read out, which isn't the King James version. It's another version, but it's just a matter of semantics. It's word difference. It's not really any. There's no structural change. The passage is quite well known, so it's not really like I'll need to practice it. However, I will need to know when to actually sort of go up and speak. And so I imagine, although I could in theory just do that with a copy of the service sheet, I don't really need to be there. But nevertheless, I shall be going there. I was, I believe, going to be put on the third row back with my gran, but they have decided that perhaps I should sit on the front row after all. And the main reason for this is obviously because I actually have a function within the service itself. I shall need to get up and down quite easily. That might not be so easy if I'm jammed in the middle of a row. So I have been told that I will probably be on the front row with my parents. So that'll be nice, because that was a bit of a nice surprise, which I wasn't expecting. Friday night, I don't exactly know what's going on, but I do know that there's sort of a little sort of get-together in the evening, which I'm going to after the rehearsal. Then I'm coming back here. And then the times for what I'm actually doing on the day isn't actually known yet. won't be known until Wednesday, because Wednesday I will hear what time the official photographer is due at my parents' house, which is where my sister will be based. Because I have to have left there before he arrives. The basic outline is that I leave here and I walk to my grandparents, my grand's house, where I get changed and ready. I then get a taxi from my grandparents to my, from my grand's house to my parents' house, where my sister and all the hens are getting ready for the wedding. I'm there to take sort of unofficial photos. That is a big bonus. That was not something that was planned on the day. That was something, that was not something that's been planned in advance. So that's a little bit of give and take with them, and I don't think they really want me around taking photos when they're getting ready, but I'm going to do so anyway. So I'm going there. I do, however, have to leave there before the official photographer arrives, because it's just a matter of courtesy. They've paid for the official photographer, and of course, being brother of the bride, I can't do the official photographs because I have to be in them. So they've got somebody to do that. He will, of course, arrive to see her getting ready as well. So at that time, I have to go to the church, which will still be quite early. They're having a 12:30, I believe, wedding. So I don't know exactly what times are going on there. I'm finding that out on Wednesday, because my sister won't find out until Tuesday what time the wedding photographer is doing that, so I have to work around him. Anyway, then of course I'm at the church and I'm sort of doing stuff like I'm talking to people before they arrive and getting sort of photographs and videos of that. Once everything's ready, I'm going into the church, and of course then I'm not allowed to take photos or video, because the only person doing that will be the official photographer, who will arrive probably just before my sister does. The wedding will take place and I will do the reading, one of the readings. It's probably going to be multiple readings. And then after that, we're all going by coach to a place called Allerton Castle for the reception. I believe that the bride and groom will get there first, and then go up these big stairs to this room to get ready, and then we all come in and they make their grand entrance downstairs. At least that was a possibility. I don't know whether my sister decided on doing that or not. What happens after that? We have the meal, and there's the speeches which I have to record, and then I suppose there's lots of dancing and lots of partying. I think Allerton Castle closes about 11:30, or where on the family, and this is the family rather than, I think, everybody, is going to another hotel to be put up for the night, and then we're all getting up for breakfast in the morning, and then checking out around 11 o'clock-ish, and then we have to take the higher stuff. I don't have much higher stuff, I only have the waistcoat. But we have to take the higher stuff back to the shop, and then I think we're going around to my other sisters for the rest of the day, and then of course on the Monday my sister, who has been married, will of course disappear on a honeymoon. So I think that's the order of the week as is going on. I'm all right. I've got everything now with the waistcoat that appeared, which is on hire today. My shirt is in the process of getting sort of de-starched, so to speak, and I'll need to pick that up midweek from my parents, but I can't do that just yet because my parents are first finishing off things like the name, the stationery, the name tags, the order of services which they're printing and binding themselves and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff they're doing, and they won't be finished with that until midweek. So there we are. This is the final countdown. The second thing to mention is, of course, that it's Father's Day this weekend, and my society finches, Rosie and Trio, have laid an egg. I discovered it this morning, which is fantastic. It means that they are now accepting of the coconut nest, and that Bonnie's presence in there is not really garnered as a threat. We're a long way away from getting chicks yet. I have discovered that a lot of things can go wrong, but an egg is a sign that at least there's something going on between them. At least they're not both male. We can be assured of that. thing to mention is something that's going on in the forum. There's quite a heated debate about gambling, the stock market, etc., etc. It does have me in it, it does have Nathan in it. Me and Nathan are actually sort of taking a very similar stance on this. Mark Hughes is the brother of Matt Hughes, who the site is dedicated to, and he sort of violently, vehemently disagrees. There's been some, I wouldn't say rudeness, I would just say some rather abrupt speech between me and him, because we don't agree, and you know, I don't worry about hiding my views if I disagree with important or influential people. I might say them in ways that are not disrespectful, but I'm not about to agree because of towing a party line. I just don't know, I just don't do that. So he says he doesn't usually reply to me, and I don't really care whether he replies to me or not, to be totally honest. But I will express my views as I see fit in that subject, really. There was something else I wanted to talk to you about, the fourth thing, but I can't remember exactly what it is. It can't have been that important, I don't think. Oh yes, it is quite important. This is the 9th of July, when we're going down for a second family wedding, and the fact that I am then staying over in Canterbury on the 10th and will be making my own way home. This means that I will have a day in London. Basically, if you are in London and you are one of my friends and you are hearing this, I am around for one day only, the 10th of July in the capital, and let me know if you want to meet up and do anything. And that really is it for this week.